Hello everybody, this is Shannon Clements, also known as the Nomadic Author, even known as Mental. Why? Because I like to think a lot. And today I would like to say that what's on my mind is fuel. One of them is because, as you notice, that in this video I'm still wearing the same shirt. That's because I'm getting ready to head on over here to one of these fuel stops and grab a quick shower and change my clothes and everything. But for two, the reason why I'm thinking about fuel is because fuel is actually your biggest expense here in the trucking industry. But what I'm about to tell you can even go back to your own home life and your personal vehicle, which is not a commercial vehicle. You see, when it comes to fuel, a lot of people was pull up to a gas station, don't pay no mind to that tanker that's sitting there pumping the fuel out of his tank down into the fuel reservoir. Why they don't think about that is because they thinking like, hey, I'm getting fresh fuel, which is true, because the fuel you got hasn't been sitting in the gas station's fuel tank all this time, you know what I'm saying, getting pumped out. But at the same time, it has been somewhere else. And which is why I want to take you all the way back to the beginning. You see, when they bring that fuel out of the ground and pump it into the big tanks, those tanks, it's coming out of that ground with a lot of the dirt and soot that's contained within the ground and also inside of the machine as well. And then when they take it from the machine and put it into the tankers, all of that stuff is going right into the tanker along with the fuel. It's all just mixing in together. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't pay attention to that. So when they see that fuel tanker sitting at the gas station, they're like, yeah, I'm getting fresh fuel and everything, so my car gonna be good. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, you're wrong on that. Why? It's because while you're pumping your gas out of the well, you got gas that's going down into that well, coming out of the tanker, and along with that fuel that's going into the tanker, which is going into the ground, which is coming out of that pump into your gas tank, has a lot of sediment in it, a lot of soot. So whenever you see that tanker sitting there, it's best to not fuel up at that time. If you don't have no choice, then go ahead. But if you can, hold off, at the very least, hold off for at least 1 hour. That way it gives all that sediment 1 hour. Let me reiterate that. 1 hour after that tanker finishes dropping all that fuel in the ground and leaves. After he leaves, give it 1 hour. So that way the fuel, all that sediment inside that fuel can get a chance to settle down to the ground. You know, 2 hours is a lot better than 1. Because the reason why I say that is important is because once you take that, if you was to take all that gas that's coming straight out that fuel tanker along and put it right into your tank, and they got all that sediment going on, it's going into your gas tank. And when your gas fuel sits in your vehicle overnight or whatever, it settles down to the bottom of your gas your gas tank. And now everybody has done it. Nobody is above it, but everybody has allowed their vehicle to run out of fuel. Now, where your line that's down in your gas tank is trying to draw that fuel out of there, what's left in the tank, and feed it to your engine so you can go ahead and continue driving. Guess what's going up in there? That sediment that's down at the bottom of your fuel tank. It's going right up in that line. What you have is they have a fuel, what is called a fuel filter, but the fuel filter is what's supposed to catch it, but still, the fuel filters get get old, and they allow sediment to still go through it, and then go right into your engine on top of that. You know, and but mainly just that fuel filter alone gets clogged up. And why would you want to clog your fuel filter up? There might even be a screen that's supposed to catch that sediment before it even gets to your fuel filter. But why would you want to have to pay somebody to change that screen out, let alone your fuel filter early? Because using fueling up and allowing your vehicle to run out of gas, and all that sediment is coming out the bottom of your tank and going right into your the fuel filter, the screen, and even bypassing both of them and going into your engine. So a lot of people in this trucking industry, they go home, they do a lot of home time. They allow their tank, when they go home, they allow their tank to reach down to the red marker, or maybe even lower. And that really is not healthy for your truck, because, like I said, you have that screen that screens out all the sediment and everything, but at the same time, that screen is going to cost you a lot of money to get changed out, because when it gets packed. And you know how big they say that screen is? The screen is about the size of your thumbnail. It's not that big at all. So therefore, it don't take a lot of sediment to clog it up, and then you're wondering why you're having problems with your engine. It's not the engine. It's just it's not getting no gas. And it's not your fuel filter. It's because that screen was clogged up. Why? Because you kept allowing for your fuel tank to reach below a quarter tank of gas. Now they say, as a rule of thumb, in trucks and big rigs, 18-wheelers, these big trucks, you're not supposed to allow your tank to go beneath. Excuse me, let me get it right. Let it get beneath a quarter tank of gas. And that is the very reason why you don't allow it to go beneath a quarter tank of gas. At the very least, you know what I'm saying, the red marker. Now in your car, it can still be the quarter tank of gas, but really it's that red marker right before you go completely empty on your gas. That's when it's starting to draw whatever's at the bottom of that tank, right up into your fuel filter, that screen, and also into your engine. I learned this in school, you know, while I was taking a mechanics class. I am, by trade, I am also a mechanic. So that's the reason why it's best to keep, when you're driving your truck, when you're getting close to that quarter tank of gas, you know it's time to go ahead and put some fuel in your system. And now, based on your mileage or the distance that you have to actually drive in order to get from point A to point B, you know, I have another video out to learn, so you'll know how to calculate exactly how much fuel you'll need to drive the distance in which you got to travel, and how much you need to put into that fuel tank. And you know, and so you can also go and check that video out as well. So I'm just looking out for everybody that's watching my channel. You know, when it comes to fuel, don't play around, because just running out of gas might not be the only problem that you get in the end. Talk to you later.